Alright, let's go ahead and get started. First things first. Well, I guess M4? Alright. Who's a good boy? Any crafting need to be done? Sure. What map do I go do? I guess it'd be like go start, I guess, trying to fix Lordos, I guess. Turning on murder brawlers. Yeah, 8 advanced joints. I guess let's go murder some brawlers, I guess. Or attempt to. So, to Scrapyard we go. Pack mule. Bring good old Painless in. What other guns for brawlers? We can't fully ADS, so you want to save the Scar or two for something. Let's just bring a shotgun in. That's good enough. No, this is normal time, 1 PM. MK, hey blood. This is usually when I start. Some fun in what, Copper? That sucks, blood. Alright, we do have the right variant, I believe, for brawlers. Probably gonna turn the HUD on too, to be honest. Boop. Hey, Duffs. Brendan, I think that's just one of multiple different things. It's not a problem that one thing will solve, but that's probably part of the solution, right? Is in some way reducing the ability to heal. What? I guess it was going back to its people in the ground. Yeah, bye drone. Oh, it's still down there. Well, you have fun down there. I'm gonna keep going on. No, Brennan, I mean, like, that's just one part of the solution, right? Like, it's not even potentially the right solution, it's just one of the myriad of ways you could address, like, start addressing issues like that, for sure. Alright, brawlers. I will win this fight eventually. I will win this fight eventually. Or maybe not, actually. Hold on. I said, stop it. Come up the staircase, I want to murder you. You're not making this easy. Close combat. Authorized. Yes, come up the stairs. Alright. Give me your joints. Nope, that's not joints. Give me your joints. Still not joints. Joints? Three components, no joints. Dumping targets. Lots of components. All right, no joints is one. More brawlers? Nah, just cyborgs. We might want to go blow up the bridge on Mesa if we're going to farm Scrapyard for joints. Target removed. Well, Copper, it's more about, like, if you don't take in a holistic view when you make changes like that, you can have unintended side effects, right? Like, if you have fine-tuned the balance of the game right now to be playable when you can heal on demand, the kickback of you just suddenly changing that without any other considerations can be dire, right? You kind of have to take into consideration the other things at play when you start doing things like that. I'm not saying don't add healing animations in, right? But like, don't just pigeonhole your vision into like, yeah, just add healing animations and nothing else is like important at all. Give me your joints. I said joints, not spine. Joints? There we go. That's 2 out of 8. Under fire from multiple vectors. 3 out of 8, 4 out of 8. Holy shit, we are living life here. We're halfway there. I'm gonna not be greedy. I'm gonna come back. I might regret doing this, but I think having half the joints I need is worthy of leaving. Hey, civilians. Are we doing this? I think we're doing this. My dearest civilians, running to the right over here is freedom. Running inside is not freedom. We have the munitions to remove the threat. Alright, kill the cyborg. Oh god. Oh god. I made a mistake. Run! Civilians, run! Get to the chopper, get to the elevator. Objective secured. Minimal casualties. We killed the T-800 though, so I'm happy. We got 4 out of 8 joints. And momentum, how's it going? That was a pretty good gunhead run. Hey, Jay. I think we just run it back. Hey, Delta. Hopefully, hopefully we get the right variant again. Because I would have to go look for quests, and I would have to, like, go find the quests, and then pick up the quests, and then I don't really need anything from the quests. Like, I don't need water, I don't need credits, I don't need experience. Like, am I leaving stuff on the table by not, like, trying to get the brawler quests? Sure. Do I really need anything for the brawler quests? No. I'm doing well, Delta. How are you? That's the plan, Michael. We're already halfway done off one run. Any more the cyborgs? The one by, what's his name, Pilled? Seraph, we've done it once on, like, the Friday stream, only once. I tried for 2 hours to get a like, video of it for my patch video, I couldn't do it. Hey, Scout. But Jay, I have seen it. If it's the one I'm thinking about, I have seen it, yeah. I'm kind of, I don't know for sure, Seraph. I'm guessing it's tied to Theaters of War. So, like, it probably requires Europa to have a high enough percentage of control to actually spawn it. I don't know if that's true or not, it's just my guess. Yeah, here are the cyborgs. A little late. You get up top. I got brawlers behind me, gotta be careful. Here they come. I mean, I don't agree with all of his takes. I mean, I agree with the overall sentiment of the video. Like, a big part of his video, right, was like, he was basically just talking about how the game does kind of feel fairly superficial, which I do agree with. He praised the level design, which I don't really agree with. I could make a whole negative video about the level design, to be quite frank. I'm not going to, because that's just, like, it's not how I vibe, but I could. Oh my god, so many... What? Why do you have so many spinal components and one joint? My god. Shooting is... I mean, I'm not a big fan of the gunplay. It's serviceable, but, like, it... When I think of an anti-shooter shooting, like, there... I just don't think it aligns with what my mental picture of an anti-shooter gunplay is, right? I want guns to feel like they have weight, and that using them is not something I want to do, it's a thing of last resort. But, like, everything just leans into the gunplay. I don't think it's just that, Jay. I don't think it's as simple as just making new weapons. It's foundational. It's reworking gunplay from the ground up. I actually think that the amount of weapons and attachments they have in the game is actually detrimental. Alright, I'm hoping we get a few more brawlers here. And I will say too, though, like, I do wish the community would just be okay with, like, things like, people have this really knee-jerk reaction to the DLC skins, right? It's literally just a way for them to raise funds from people who want to give them more money. You are not losing content from the game, from them occasionally making some skins to sell.
Initiating Protocol 726. Close combat authorized.
Like, if they wanted to sell DLC skins, if they wanted to sell graphical tees, if they wanted to sell merch, I think that's a really clever way of giving them more runway to actually develop the game into what it should be, right? And I feel like the community sentiment sometimes of like getting pissed off of them monetizing their fucking passion project is asinine and just overall hurts the actual potential of the project. Like, that's the big thing. When you can mod the game and replace the assets of the game with whatever the fuck you want, you should not give a shit about DLC skins, right? Because that's all the DLC skins are, right? It's just literally 3 modded skins into the game. Done by professionals who know the game.
Time for repairs and rearmaments.
If they have artist bandwidth and that's why they're adding attachments, I would rather them just make more DLC skins. Alright, we got one more. I mean, people don't like the predatory aspects of companies, which is perfectly fair, but like, I don't have a problem with that at all. My problem is in the sense of like, this is the one time, or like, this is one of the instances where it should be okay. This is an indie company. Like, they have to monetize things to make money. If you don't want them to have to sell it to a publisher, you should be okay with handing them money. And they're not trying to monetize people who don't want to give them money. They're trying to monetize people who do want to give them money. Also, I need to probably do some farming. We're about to log Bundleton off. Wrong one.
Reporting clear skies.
Yeah, and they don't, right? They're literally they're just skins. They still have to. I have bad news for everyone. The people they need to develop this game, to develop systems, to program systems in, are the expensive part of game dev. The people who actually do, you know, the C programming. They're expensive. Programmers are expensive. Oh, 100%. I do think that they're leaving a lot on the table with merch, right? Like, I'm sure the art book's coming eventually, knock on wood, but like, I feel like they could do a lot with merch. Considering, you know, a lot of them are artists, right? Hey, you know, you're feeling a little burnt out doing bug fixes? Go make a graphical tee. Go make a coffee mug. Throw it up on the merch store. They could even, if they wanted to get crazy with it, they could even do fucking drops too. That would, I mean, I could understand why people would get upset if they did drops, to be quite frank, though. I personally am fine with drops, but I understand people not being okay with drops. For those unfamiliar, drops are essentially like not time gated, or like basically like they're essentially like time gated, essentially merchandise, like limited time merchandise. Like, you can only buy it for like, you know, a month or a week or like whenever it goes on sale, and then it's like when it's done, it's done. Alright, we're leaving. This is the wrong map for that. Essentially. Is the stream freezing over and over? I'm gonna turn off Caster Labs. Like, it did this last time too. Let me turn off Caster Labs. So there won't be chat anymore. Let me know if it stops freezing as heavily. I'm not sure if it's Castro Labs or not, but like, was it doing it last stream too? Unfortunately, I don't think I have too much control over it. But let me know if it gets better with Castro Labs being off. I don't know why it's being so bitchy, but I'll have to see. Yeah, Twitch works fine. I don't know why YouTube is dropping the ball so fucking hard. I mean, I can probably just blame fucking Spectrum and that'd be fine. I wonder if I can figure like out a different routing. I could switch things around too. I have an idea. I could try it next stream. I have an idea what it might be also. That might be, it's probably YouTube related, but like I can reorder the streams to hopefully have it be more YouTube focused. I wonder if it's sending the wrong, it looks like, why is it? I'm getting the idea that it's not sending the right bandwidth either though. I could try reordering this quickly. I'm not around it right now. Unfortunately, I can't. I would have to stop the stream and probably reconfigure it. Okay, so I need water. Yeah, I have an idea what it might be. It might be the fact that just this piece of software I'm using to like multicast is just not working the way it's intended. It's using the Twitch bitrate for YouTube. It should be CBR though for YouTube. No, it's never Delta. It's never okay. I know you're saying okay to get me back on topic. It's never okay though. I have spent so much fucking time configuring the stream to be perfect. Well, as perfect as it can be. And like, if it's outside of my agency, I'm perfectly fine with it, or I have to be fine with it. But I still want to, like, I still want things to be ideal. All right. So we're looking for some water quests. Seraph, I mean, it could be an alpha. It's hard to say, though. They haven't really said if it's an alpha or beta. My main conspiracy concern is that we're on 0.7 right now, and, like, last patch was 0.6, the patch before that was 0.5, and we've had monthly patches since then. It kind of paints this picture that 1.0 is 3 months away, or 3-ish months away. Alright, quest, I'm gonna need you to pop up, please. I mean, that's one of the quests and give me water. There's a very particular quest I'm looking for on Elephant. I think it's from, there we go, Hidden Water Part 2. Down to go fetch some water. Brando, I'm not sure. I don't. Michael, it is stressful anytime I do the reload. Reloading quest. It is. Oh god. I am the Alpha and the Omega. Fear me as I walk through your land and bring death. They're not Seraph, but like it's the connotation of that plus the Steam page saying a year for early access plus the the monthly patch cadence, right? It like altogether it adds into what feels like a rush to 1.0. Like, individually, none of these things would be a red flag, but combined, they feel kinda sus. I am here. Worship, fear me. Like, is it like the only other alternative I can think about is like they're trying to keep the attention of players, but why? Why is that important? I mean, and naturally too, look at my little fucking feet. Oh my god, this is beautiful. This is the way the game's meant to be played. The fucking feet. Oh man. Yeah, wait, Sarah, if you're telling me this isn't 1.0 already, what are you talking about? This is peak.
Bagging it up.
Wait, this is not the right backpack. God damn it, I thought I had the rack on. Oh well. I just lost, like, fucking bringing 7 water out. Oh, no harm now. It's quick rod. Fucking little feet. But no, like, yeah, like... I just... Why a monthly patch cadence? I've only run into it once. On this map, out in the fields. Wait. If I turn around, if I hold still, it's fine. It's only when I move. Interesting. I am here, worship me. I am your god, your deity. Come back. You're not kneeling. You should be worshipping the T-pose. Worship the T-pose. Worship me. No, come back here. Hey, what the hell? What? Fucking... I don't mind the iframes being gone, but why the stagger? Why is the stagger still here? The brother killed God, how could he? I mean, also, I didn't have the rack on, so it's fine. Alright, let's run it back. Oh no, I mean, shotguns do a lot of damage at close range, which I'm fine with. The thing is too, with the iframes being gone, which I'm okay with, the stagger essentially means there's a good chance you're going to die. Wait. Oh, there we go, wrong gun. There we go. Back to peak. The game as the devs intended. The T-pose. Where do my bullets come from? I'm guessing they come from the muzzle of the gun. They probably just go forward, though. Yes, T. Worship me. No, but yeah, shotguns absolutely brutal in the game. I wonder what it looks like when I'm doing this.
Shred 'em fast.
Weep, weep, weep. Essentially not the right animation being found, just it's pointing to the wrong animation, or just like the animation that it was using got destroyed or lost, or renamed. Lots of different things can cause it. But essentially this is like, it's defaulting to like the default animation that it can't, because it can't find anything else. Unlucky, this is, what do you mean this is peak? Remember, I decided to like to go back in with this. It's so beautiful. Yeah, I got about, yeah, Michael, you can hear it now. Back to the water supply, now with the rack. Nom 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 nom. Alright, all my quests are done. Do I want to get some more water? Let's get some more water. This is 100% a feature.
Brought enough ammo to drown an army in grass.
Hey, Sal. Oh no, I've been punked by quite a few grenade launcher guys on the new map. Weirdly enough, though, they don't actually, like, generally double tap me. I have been double tapped before by them, but it's actually kind of rare. What? Go away. You're not invited. Let me just keep moving on. I mean, I like them. I mean, it's a visually very impressive map, but no, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's got a lot of. it just needs locations to visit.
Shred 'em fast.
All right, let me find some more water. Because we're apparently bagged now with Painless right now as T-posing. Why aren't you T-posing, John? This is beautiful. This is peak game. All right, more water. All right, let's keep moving. If you stand still with Painless, it doesn't do it, but when you start moving around with Painless now, yeah, it just breaks. I'm guessing they're working on some animation for moving. Hey, not invited. XO, oh, that's medium mech, that's not XO. I should probably just leave. Let's not be overly greedy. I could get 2 more water containers, but with the medium mech being there, let's just leave.
An exit is an exit. Clean or otherwise.
I do like it, Seraph. I do think that, like, it's part 1 of a full-fledged... with iframes being gone, I think they can remove the stagger and make the knockdown much more forgiving. And it's still punishing, it's just not as much as it currently is. I do think they need to, like, add the ability to, like, actually function while, like, knocked down, like, be able to shoot and shit. Like, actually provide some players with some choice once they get knocked down. Just being stuck in the 5-second, you know, animation is rough. Alright, we have solved our immediate water crisis, I think. Yeah, close enough. So, back to farming some joints. I think I have 5 so far. Where are my joints at? Yeah, I got 5 joints so far. Need 3 more. So we have Painless. Bring our shotgun in too. Ooh, are we out of shotgun rounds? Oh no, we're shells. Good enough. This is probably not good enough, actually. Hold on. I could bring a 36M in. Could bring the Scar in, actually. That'll probably be a fine counterpoint. Get rid of you, and then bring in some 50 cal. Alright, back to joint farming. Sal, that sounds beautiful. By the way, did the stuttering go away? Oh, Larry, the stutters in the game are... Wait, the stutters in the new map or the stutters in the stream? Did the stutters go away on the stream, by the way, or are they still here on YouTube? I have one more mental thought to fix it next stream. I have to reorder how I think I do the multicast and make it YouTube first and then Twitch later, just because YouTube seems very temperamental about CBR. You guys gotta know. Also, this is the wrong variant. We need to go. We need to leave and come back. No, yeah, Larry, the shader issues on the new map are really rough. 100%. Hey, SpongeBob. I have a video on it. Overall, like, it does. It's a good patch. Like, the movement's better. The performance is better. It doesn't really solve any of the issues I have with the game at all, but like, it does make it a smoother experience. Oh, weird duffs. Interesting. I have an idea to fix it, but it won't be till next stream. Oh, do they they basically removed it. Apparently fall damages is not a thing anymore.
Awaiting new tasking.
Yeah, Michael, that's the whole thing. Yeah, that's why we're refreshing right now to go to the actual, like, white version of Scrapyard. If they're stuttering on the YouTube stream, I can say just go over to Twitch for right now, unfortunately. I have to think of, like, I need to basically... I can try reordering the stream. I think a lot of this is just my current issue with fucking not Comcast, basically Comcast Spectrum. I can try a few different solutions out. It might end up me getting a new router too, as opposed to using their fucking router, but unfortunately I'm capped on their up band, basically. I think a big thing too is I probably just need to reduce the overall bit rate to YouTube because it's not consistent anymore. Yeah, like a high C, low B, whatever. Yeah, I usually prefer doing maps as Gunhead when I'm doing like a very quick run, where meds aren't all that important. Yeah, there should be one more spawn of cyborgs. Alright, cyber issue should be solved. I think 15 megabits. Like, for all the Euros out here, right, you have to keep in mind the way the United States infrastructure was built out, it's always been more heavy focused on download than upload, like to a comedic effect, right? Like, it's usually 10 to 1 or worse. So that means for every 10 megabits of download you get 1 megabit of upload. And that's like, that's the US companies being generous. It's usually sometimes not even that generous. So for example, like right now on Spectrum, like the best Spectrum plan I have right now I have 1 gig down, but I only have 35 megabits up. So, yeah, it is a small fraction of my download, and that's like the max though, right? That's not even saying probably sustained. Now, I'm not next to that cap, but like if there's ever fluctuations in my upload, I can imagine it getting throttled very quickly. So it's me kind of having to learn how to play around that right now for next year. Also, holy shit, it's the entire Eurasian army. It technically should be fine for streaming. It's just the thing of like US cable companies being giant assholes and never having stable service. It's just the way the US has always been focused on. They've never valued upload at all. And like the only thing that's actually pushed the upload kind of to be more equal now is because of a lot of remote work. And like people having to do video calls a lot more. Where my brawlers at? Brawlers, I came here for you, and you ain't here. Yeah, I have a few ideas of how to fix it. I'm gonna probably do 2 things. I'm gonna reorder my multicast to focus on YouTube first. It shouldn't focus on Twitch first, but I feel like it might be doing that. The second, I'm probably gonna reduce the overall bit rate being sent to YouTube. Essentially give it more overhead. Where are my brawlers at?
Initiated protocol 726. Close combat.
Well, there's the entire Eurasian army again in there.
Deleting threats. Order of priority.
Come on down. I might go take the time to blow up the bridge on Mesa, just to make this a bit more easier. Knocking out the cyborgs on this map would probably be a great idea for making it a little bit more passable. And we don't need to go to Mesa anymore anyway, so that's perfectly fine. Let's go, well, I say that, but if we're trying to kill a chopper after this, we do kind of want to be able to visit Mesa. I'm torn. We can kill choppers. I mean, Mesa's like literally the best map for it. I'm kind of torn. Hey, Captain. Yeah, it's probably worthwhile to go load up.
Returning home.
One step at a time. Because you like standing on Shantytown lets you actually get above the chopper, so you're actually kind of protected. Like no other map lets you kind of abuse the chopper like you can on Mesa.
Perhaps. Today is the day.
Like, if you just get on top of Shantytown over there with the magic jumps, like, you can snipe the chopper, and it usually can't kill you. Every other map, it's a lot kind of sketchier.
Under fire from multiple vectors. Seek cover immediately.
But first things first, we can always do a chopper later, but let's just get the joints out of the way and make it easier for ourselves by blowing up the bridge. No worries, Captain. Sounds good. I also didn't check to see what actually the new thing is here. I should probably check for that last time, or like this time. I don't see it. Nope, just some Euresca mechs.
Remove my safety.
I don't think so. I've only ever seen, well, I mean, I've only ever seen the kill animation for Eurasian drones once when I forced it, so I've never seen them pick up the drone. Or pick up Gunhead. Alright, there's one. There's two. Three, and then the last one to the far side. Alright, all the explosives placed. I want to watch. Don't make me kill all of you. Boom. Alright. Scooby, it would be funny if it's like you place the charges and you immediately blow up. Yeah, it's a very quick explosion. Like, the animation's very, very quick for it. Yeah. What did that cyborg ever do to you? Like, aren't you friends? Yeah, good old Captain Chin. Oh no, I mean, like, I don't regret doing this because it's gonna make Scrapyard a bit way nicer. All right, let me go buy some 50 cal real quick. All right, come here, you. 50 cal. Back to Scrapyard. And now, since we blew up the bridge, Scrapyard should be much easier. The generator in Scorch, if I recall correctly, turns on the radar tower, which is allegedly supposed to stop some of the aerial spawns, like the cyborg bombers and stuff like that. Wrong variant.
7 and 6, reporting clear skies ahead.
Hey, Winter Rose, thanks. Appreciate it. Glad you're enjoying it. Yeah, I mean, it's not a very cinematic explosion. It still might be, like, fairly, placeholdery, but no, it's a very quick explosion. It doesn't really have the air of, like, cinematics to it. Hey, Bob. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm like, I literally just spent the time to go blow up the bridge. I'm like, where are the cyborgs at? They're gone, you dumbass. I literally just took a break to go blow up the bridge to stop them from spawning. Of course there's not fucking any cyborgs here.
Awaiting new tasking.
Tangent, I usually don't have tangents, right? I usually have segues. If I believe the context of the, if I recall the context of the conversation about microdosing drugs, it was just more about how, if I recall correctly, like, was it PTSD? I think we were talking about PTSD perhaps, and like there are studies like about sort of how like assisted therapies with psilocybin really help people kind of mentally reset. And we probably talked about microdosing in that capacity, where like people will microdose to kind of help their headspace. No, yeah, Tony. I mean, I recall vaguely what we were talking about. I think it was related to PTSD at first, because naturally, this game and PTSD can be easily brought up. So now we're just waiting for the weight variant, I guess. Winners. No, I mean, like, it just... Everyone has those little mental barriers you can't really work through. And, like, it's nice that it might actually be a resourceful tool for, like, actually breaking through those barriers, right? Kind of rewiring the brain.
I am the weapon. Deciding to use it is a job for you humans.
I mean, you are Tony though, right? So you're not. I mean, that's correct when you say you're Tony. Because you are Tony. Your name is Tony. I mean, I'm 100% the middle spoon. God damn it.
As you humans say, a good day.
We blew up the bridge, and then we're never going to see the right variant for this map ever again. I'm going to run out of water before I get there. I think we're paying two a trip here. But so I do recall, yeah, the beautiful plastic chairs with physics in Underground Cemetery. I don't. If you do the radar towers, like, it's not as long as that. It's I want to say 3 or 4 hours. There might be some randomness into it too. I don't know definitively how long it lasts for, but it's at least a couple hours. But I don't think it's as long as the radar towers. Because I have had the effect of blowing up the bridge go away inside of one stream. Yeah, we're running out of water here. Come on, white variant. That is, I will say, like, a critique I have of the new water system. It doesn't feel like a survival burden, or it doesn't feel like, there we go, variant. It doesn't feel like, you know, we're trying to keep the innards alive. It just feels like a weird kind of tax. Well, it is in the sense of like when right now with the water entries to the map, it doesn't feel like I'm using that water to travel to the map. It just feels like this weird arbitrary tax anytime I go to a map, right? Like the entry cost. It doesn't feel like a survival element. It feels just like it doesn't feel attached. Sure, Wonder, I'll keep that in mind. I'm currently working on my next script for a video, which I will say is not Forever Winter related. Unfortunately, I just can't bring myself to write about this game right now. At least the units I haven't done in the game yet currently. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, Zen, if we were actually like traveling, like the actual presentation matters a lot too, right? Like, it doesn't do a good job of like making it feel like the water we're paying is part of the travel cost, right? And there's probably some really low-level tricks they could do to make it feel that way, that make it pass better. Like just like a visual of like traveling to a map and then like drinking water. I don't know, but yeah. It's not that, MK. It's more in the sense that, like, the problem I have had with doing these, like, lore videos recently is that none of the units right now really inspire me to write. They're not all that interesting. And, like, it's hard to make logical leaps when it doesn't feel like a lot of the rules of these units are obeying any internal logic. I like Gunhead. I like Gunhead when I'm doing quick runs V that I'm not gonna try to like stay for a long period for. So like the problem I have, right, is like, take for example the opals. Well, how do the opals work? You need to activate these 3 radar towers, which are apparently Eurasian, but Europa doesn't give a shit about them. And once you activate these 3 radar towers, the opals come down and just walk around and do shit. And the opals are sometimes fast, sometimes slow, but they're unkillable. But like exos aren't killable or are killable. It just, there's right now a pretty big issue with like the lack of any internal logic in the game. It feels so picky and choosy. Like, why is the shield officer unkillable, but like the medium mechs are? And like coming from like trying to write a video about like theoretical lore of the game and like trying to find justifications for the really wishy-washy nature and picky choosing nature of how they just choose to make some units unkillable and some units aren't, it's hard for me to write. It's this mental barrier I have not been able to break through recently in regards to writing about the new, like, the units, right? Because that's kind of all I have left. I could do a Europa infantry video, but even they don't feel like... They feel very homogeneous. Zen, it just feels like there's never been a moment where they sat down and just like ironed out the consistency in their game in regards to like even like things like Star Wars, right? Like Star Wars doesn't have to be realistic. It doesn't try to be, but it does obey its internal logic. Most of the time, I will say, like, and there will be instances, right, where like Disney, for example, will do things that break the internal logic of Star Wars, and then they'll get flack for that, right? like the whole thing with like the suicide FTL into the big capital ship. That was a big kind of lore break for a lot of Star Wars fans, because like, why has this not been weaponized before? It doesn't make any sense. You're kind of breaking the internal logic of the setting. Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, they talked about like doing sub-factions, like special forces of certain factions, or like branded like regiments of certain factions, yeah. Also, where the fuck are my brawlers at? Generally speaking, when you don't see the brawler spawn, it's because you need to kill some units that are blocking them from spawning. Or do we consider brawlers Eurasian cyborgs, and that's why they're not spawning? Did I just block myself off from actually seeing Eurasians? Who did I just kill? No, those are your cyborgs right there. It's just only the runners, I think. We should have brawlers somewhere eventually. If I keep clearing out the spawns, they should spawn eventually. This is Scrapyard Nexus. It's a small little map, but it's very useful because it usually has a set brawler spawn on this variant. And we're trying to kill brawlers for their joints for Lordos. It depends, Larry. Sometimes they'll just spawn right off the rip. Sometimes you have to coax them into spawning. I mean, Duffs, I mean, I conceptually doesn't, like, I don't mind that, but it's not something I'm entirely interested in, right? And I do feel like there's already plenty of people who take that approach, who do more of, like, just taking screenshots and showing cool visuals. I mean, I do that too, but I usually use that as a medium for, like, talking about the game or lore. It's not usually the focus of my videos. Alright, let's run it back. I did not find any brawlers this time. Get some more 50 cal for our backup weapon. And let's run it back. The nighttime variant, it might, but do I want to fuck with the dog, though, is the question. Hey, Mr. Grooves.
It is as you humans say, a good day.
But this variant's a wash. This variant is just Europa versus Eurasia, and brawlers just don't spawn. Or I guess Eurasia versus, sorry, Euruska versus Europa. I can't really speak on... I've been told... To my knowledge, they have about 3 to 4 programmers. That is correct. And that doesn't mean that, like, they only have 3 to 4 people that can work with the engine. It just, when they get to the technical stuff, they have 3 to 4 people to do development. Ideally, like, this is going to be me probably speaking out of turn or out of pocket. I feel like the way I would mentally approach it is have those developers work on systems that are fairly, no, I don't want to say the word generic, but like they do the groundwork to set up variables that you as the actual like more artist side or more feely side can go tune and like essentially free them from the burden, right? I do have a direct line to Jeff and Miles. I have not used that direct line in a while, and I want to say, do not think I have more power than I do, because I really don't. I do not have any sway at all in this game, which is perfectly fine and well. This is their game, but at the same time, I am free to critique it the way I see it. I do not have much more information than you guys. Or really, I would even go as far as to say any more. There might be a few things here and there I'm not divulging because of reasons, but like overall, we have the same amounts of information. I do not have a lot behind the scenes. Also, why is this not the white variant? Yeah, Seraph, like, I have tried doing this map before for brawlers, and I just always feel like the orange variant just not worth trying to even going into. Yeah, like, MKNG, like, in my ideal world, right, like, at least mentally to me, the way I would set it up, personally, is I would have, like, the template, like, templates for weapons, templates for, like, for enemies, and have things like essentially be children of those and inherit from those. Like you basically get the variables and you can fine tune the variables, right? And like I can imagine artists can move around hitboxes perfectly fine too, right? I feel like if you organize it properly, you can really reduce the strain on the engineers. CSO. You are going to be ultimately be bandwidth by your engineers, but I feel like you can try and alleviate that bandwidth to a large degree. Like, considering that we do not see weapons get updated at all very quickly, it kind of makes me think that the weapon system isn't modular at all and requires like them to go into each individual component and like each individual weapon and like highly tune or configure them individually. It's not as simple as just like clicking this, changing a few variables around, and now it performs a different way. All right, let's go see if we get brawlers here. Ooh, a gun. Hey, Cat War Boss. Let's go murder some brawlers, hopefully. Alright, I don't see brawlers yet. Is basic weapon system like a premium module you just buy, or is that like, are you saying the default way UE5 pushes you to do weapons is a bad way of doing weapons? I will say, when they're designing their system, their generic system, UE5 is, I don't think they're trying I don't think they're thinking that you're going to try to do Tarkov in Unreal Engine 5. Where are my brawlers at? You're not brawlers. And like also, Cat War Boss, like that's also the opinion too, where I feel like less is more, right? if you are going to have that system where every attachment is like this chaotic new weapon, bad. I don't need to do a quest on this map. No, I just need to get brawlers to spawn. It's just RNG. Sometimes they spawn right out of the rip, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you need to kill lots of people for them to actually spawn. And sometimes too, like this map has a pretty decent issue of enemies getting stuck in walls, which might block off respawns from happening. I know back at the entrance over here, things would get stuck in the walls all the time. I feel like Cat Warboss, like I've said this for a long time now. It kind of just reinforces my point of like, just don't lean on that many attachments then. Survivor, I have no idea. I don't think it's that scout. They sometimes will just spawn on the map without even prisoners being here. And I've seen them respawn too without prisoners being here. It's just some quirks of the maps too. It's probably Theaters of War also, where it might be a certain percentage. Alright, I guess we're leaving. I should probably bring attack cam too, because it might help out actually see what the hell's going on. No, you're good. I mean, like, you probably know as much as we do, to be honest. It's just, sometimes the RNG don't go your way. The only other maps with brawlers, really, I mean, like, you can kind of get them on Elephant, rarely. Out in the field. This really is just the best map for brawlers. You can sometimes get them on Ashen Mesa at the bunker, but that's not consistent either. Let's bring a yield tack him also. I have seen the new guy once on the Friday stream. We saw them on Elephant. Outside of that, we have not. And I still haven't seen Mr. Cold Cuts yet, but I haven't really been trying either. Mr. Cold Cuts, Coquetta, whatever his name is, the giant meat man, meat patty man. Brawlers? I think we get brawlers now. Looks like brawlers to me. Yeah, they come. Give me your joints. All right, we're missing one. Is that you down there? Yeah. I usually play Mask Man the most because he's like a pretty good all-around character. There we go. There. Oh. There's 6 and 7. We need one more. Come on up. I want your joints. Not yours. Does that one just fly off? Where the hell did you come from? Where did he go? Are we good? Can we chill? Oh, there we go. We're good. Get the fuck out of here. Ever since they detached the tick rate from infantry misdemeanors for performance reasons, infantry have been occasionally, zoomies, yes. Sometimes they just go real fast. If I had $1 for every fucking LA joke some people have made, I could just retire.
Awake at last.
There's so many. Alright, Lordos, we're here to fix you. A lot of you can't, apparently. Chupes. We need to get some Eurasian chupes. Alright, time to go murder a helicopter. So, I mean, the new maps, or sorry, Mesa's locked off, so I guess it's just really gonna be having some fun. I don't think we need a drill for this, but just in case. So we're not doing scrap. I'm just scorched enclave and see if we get lucky. I'm not big on accents. Chapes. Yeah, that's his accent, Chapes. He's got some really shitty accent. Oh, god damn it.
As you humans say, a good day. Remove my safety.
Zen, that feels like a fucking monkey's paw asking for new, more unkillables. I guess this would be a good experiment to see if Mom can get staggered.
Delete them.
Alright, we're good there. Oh, hey, look, it's a tank. Can the tank stagger moms?
Threat exponential.
Can the tank even shoot mom? Holy shit. Well, I think they fixed the issue with, with the long duels between moms and tanks. I think they just upped mom's melee damage to be infinite, which is perfectly fair. Are you saying you don't enjoy 20-hour-long duels between moms and tanks? Oh, I didn't stagger her. Okay, it did stagger her. How long does that last for? Yeah, it's got such a long cooldown. Oh god, that's such a long melee range. Yeah, so like you can knock her down for a very short period, but like the actual cooldown between knocking them down is very, very long. I have, right? It's when they can't path to you. I mean, crushed by thighs are more crushed by just weird, arbitrary, like AoE stomp that gets you in a weird distance away. Oh, it's wrong thing. Grenade launcher. No wait, just 18. There we go. Hey, goons. Stop fucking gooning, you goddamn degenerates. Someone put a fucking dog in chat, please. Mr. Grooves has really hit the nail on the head here. Some thoughts can be private thoughts. It's okay, everyone.
Under fire from multiple vectors. Seek cover immediately. Sentience dropped.
Don't mind me, just walking through, looking for a helicopter that's not here, so just gonna move on. Who wants to watch Rat King die? I'm down. Or I guess watch them kiss. Hey, I mean, listen, Blood, if your deity can't protect himself from dying, does he deserve to live? God fucking Shrek'd. Rat King never wins, correct? Embrace the T-pose. Hey Nerf, it's going well. Bit more polish, movement looks better now. New map is kind of they've added a few new bugs as they do. Pot shots are still a thing. And you're really just still going at it there. I thought I didn't like Rat King, but this medium mech really does not like Rat King. Ah, yes, the T-pose of sleep. It's just never won't be funny. Nerf, I have no idea. I mean, remember, like, from the Q&A back in, like, what, of March this year, Miles said, like, 5-6 months until we see progression updates. So that should be pointing to, like, next update or two, I guess. Yeah, I'm not trying to do Mesa, though, because we blew up the bridge. Thanks, Michael. We blew up the bridge on Mesa, and... like, it basically means that we're gonna have an endless shield officer on Mesa if we go to Mesa. Do I need a drill for this? I might need a drill for this. We'll figure it out. To my knowledge, Gunhead still can't heal.
Unit 7 and 6 reporting clear skies ahead.
I guess while we're here, we should get some water too from, I guess, the bunker. That's a great question, Jim Bob. Where have the Q&As gone? I cannot answer that because I do not know the answer to it.
Protocol 7
Where are the Q&As? Where are they?
authorized.
I mean, I don't think it's... I know they're a small team, but I really just can't feel like taking an hour out of your month to answer some questions should really be that big of an ask. Like, I get it, you're busy, you're a small team, but an hour a week, sorry, an hour a month for two of you. I mean, I guess it's more than that if you're talking about, like, I guess the editing and vetting questions, and, like, if they are actually, like, vetting their questions and, like, censoring things they actually accidentally say. It's not just an hour. But, I don't know. I would say, it's more just about community engagement. Like, they don't have a CM anymore, but at the same time, that doesn't, like, just mean you can not literally say anything for months on end. Like, naturally, for example, right, the whole it's not even my conspiracy theory too, it's like a shared conspiracy theory with a few people of like, is 1.0 slotted for this year, right? They can clear that up very quickly. They don't have to give us a roadmap, but they can just say that, like, hey, yeah, we're looking at 1.0 this year, or no, this is wrong, we're not looking at 1.0 this year. I mean, Mr. Grooves, they had one, right? And they're no longer here. Wait, wrong gun. That's kind of the reason why, like, I wanted to raise it as, like, a concern, is that they might not like me for it, and that is what it is. But if I can really just make them realize that 1.0 this year, or 1.0 anytime soon, is a huge mistake, even if they don't like me for it, I think it's a W. Like, sorry, not sorry. If you release 1.0 this year, I just can't see the game doing well. It's too underbaked.
Today is the day.
But, like, the problem I have, right, is all of the signs for me mentally point to that they are. You have the early access page saying they were looking to release the game within, like, after, like, a year of iteration from the community. So, September of this year to September of last year, this year. Then they're talking about how, like, we're on currently 0.7, right? And, like, yeah, version numbers, in a vacuum, version numbers do not mean all that much, 100%. But if you add on top of that this very aggressive monthly patch cadence, it feels like a rush to like launch. It feels like crunch time. Like, if you've ever been in a software crunch before, what they're doing right now feels like a software crunch. Oh, so where are my helicopters at? Maybe we should just force it on the shield officer and see if we can actually live.
Initiated protocol 726. Close combat. Authorized.
Well, I know they don't have, and we know they don't have publishers. I don't know if they have private investors. I know they don't have publishers, though.
And to dust we shall return.
Maybe, like, it could be contractual. "100% Cat War Boss," but I feel like that's one of the things where being forthcoming to the community can develop a lot of goodwill, right? All right, part 3. And like, if that was the consideration to War Boss, like, they might not want to do this. They don't like it, but like, I don't feel like they're monetizing their game or their IP all that well, to be quite frank. Like, I genuinely feel like they, for a lot of YouTubers, for a lot of like people who do YouTube, the AdSense revenue is like a small fraction of their actual income. There's a reason why lots of YouTubers have Patreons or other services, or like they sell merch. It's because in the grand scheme of things, AdSense does not pay out all that well. It's not terrible, don't get me wrong, but like, if you're trying to operate a business, if you're trying to make good amounts of money, especially as a business and not just an individual, AdSense isn't enough. That's not really what I'm getting at, Tolarian. It's more in the sense of like having like, and so like companies will do merch stores, right? Like, for example, for now, Linus Tech Tips, a large segment of Linus Tech Tips income isn't from like YouTube or sponsored segments. It's from their merch store. Like 55 to 60% of their income as a company, their revenue, is from their merch store, not from YouTube. Like, the YouTube is how they get people to go to their merch store, but it's them actually selling products which makes them money. It is their lifeline, right? And so in that capacity, like, them not having a merch store, them not selling things, like, them not, like, they're artists with extra time, right? Like, figurines, graphical tees, like CAD files for their models, so on. There's so many different ways they could potentially market parts of their game to make up for revenue. And like, if they're predominantly artists too, who can't, like, would I rather them add a few extra attachments to the game that do nothing for me, or would I rather them make something they can actually sell in a merch store? For me personally, because I don't give a shit about the attachments, I would rather them help shore up their finances. Dude, that thing just fucking chonked me for a lot of my HP. Ow. Oh god. Fucking, oh god, oh, that's stagger. Yeah, this is why I didn't want to do part 3. Okay, yeah. This ain't it. So, the way this quest is gonna have to be done is the way I think this quest needs to be done. Because it's 100% not going to be that without a team. So like, I have a mental picture of what needs to be done to actually do this quest, and it's this plus Shantytown. Where am I 20 mil at? And so, like, there's a decent chance we might not find it when we want to find it, but... Alright, automatic jump. That should be good. I don't think we're going to keep this up, actually. I'm going to abandon this. I mean, Michael, if I'm below it to the point where it can stagger me, I don't really feel safe. Mainly because, like, I mean, the game's not like already not an anti-shooter, which is advertised to be, right? Like, if I can fire this 20 mil once or twice and get HKs, imagine the threat you should have on you if you have an RPG. I mean, that's getting, I think, Mr. Grooves into, like, a lot of extra work. There's definitely trade-offs, right? But, like, yeah, like, I don't think they're monetizing their merch, or they don't really have merch. They're not monetizing in a very aggressive way. I guess the question for them, right, is are they trying to make an IP or are they trying to make a game? Because I guess if they're trying to make a game, then sure. I mean, I can understand why they don't want to monetize or, like, you know, do a merch or stuff like that, right? I can understand that. But if they are trying to actually make an IP, I do think they're not pursuing those avenues aggressively enough. Yeah, no chopper today. So ideally, the ideal way of doing this right is the chopper spawns over there, and then you play this angle over here, right? Because you're above it, and it essentially cannot really hit you when you're up here. Now, the downside is making sure you see where the carcass goes, and hopefully it doesn't despawn by the time you try to get there. Well, like, Para, it actually is easier, right? Sneaking in this game, the current stealth mechanics in this game are so underbaked that, like, it's actively hard to sneak, and you get punished aggressively when you fail at it. So you're almost always better off just being aggressive in regards to solving problems with bullets. I guess I could try doing part 3 and seeing if the chopper will actually spawn and stay spawned. So my idea is this, right? Pick up part 3, head to the bunker, go to Shantytown, and see if the chopper is still spawned. Now, I'm reluctant to believe that it will still stay spawned. Will you? Yeah, fuck off, shield officer. I don't know. Zen, I'm not even I'm hesitant to believe their actual marketing. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if the game they're making right now or the game they ever planned was supposed to be an anti-shooter. Like, maybe at some point in the far distant past that was the idea, or maybe like their idea of an anti-shooter is different from that of a lot of different people. And indie companies do this all the time, where they label their game to their understanding and not to the general consensus of lots of players. Hey, Dim, I'm doing well. How are you? So, for example, my favorite example of this is Dune Spice Wars calling themselves RTS, right? And in a way, they're not wrong when they call their game an RTS, right? Real-time strategy. The game operates in real time, and it's a strategy game. You're not wrong when you call your game a real-time strategy. However, on a very fundamental level, people who flock to RTS's real-time strategies expect a certain level of functionality in their games when they call them an RTS. They expect, like, fast-paced, like, big battles of small units, right? Like, lots of different units on the board fighting and, like, spectacles. They're really, like, when people say RTS, right, they're thinking of StarCraft, right? Like these very big battles happening between lots of different units, and like it's very well animated and the effects are good and so on and so forth. Dune Spice Wars was never that. It was almost like a board game, like a real-time strategy, or a real-time board game, right? Like where it operated in real time, where it was slow and methodical, and like units would fight in real time, but it wasn't really about like the spectacle and lots of units. And so the people who traditionally flock to RTSs because they like those aspects of RTSs, right? Like the big battles and like the spectacles of fights, right? Like Supreme Commander, really bash the living fuck out of the game because their idea of an RTS is way different from what the developers like use an RTS term for, right? And like that's kind of how I feel, for example, how like a lot of issues in this game popped up, right? Like the developers might think of an anti-shooter a certain way, and they're not wrong to think that, but for lots of other, you know, for the people who are familiar with anti-shooters, they don't view it in that certain light, right? All right, Bunko, part 3. It doesn't make either side wrong, but when you're the company marketing your game, I feel like you have to be aware of those types of players, right? Who are going to see your label and assign certain values to your game from that label. 100%, Mr. Master, if that was the case, right? But like, Rillo was in direct contact with the developers, right? And like, it could have been Rillo misappropriately calling the game a certain thing. But I will go back, Master, to if you go back to the original marketing for this game too, I would say it was still like it's not aligned with its original marketing pitch. Like one of the biggest lines that the game's original marketing pushed, right, was that every bullet matters. Does every bullet matter when every vendor sells you like thousands of rounds every hour? Yeah. I'm not here for you. I'm here for the fucking helicopter, hopefully. 100%, Mr. Grooves. 100%. I thought the fights were going to be a lot sparser. Like, I thought it was going to be more of like walking around this desolate wasteland, and there was occasionally like troops moving about the map, but like, and you would want to avoid them, right? You wouldn't want to go to areas with troops, because heaven forbid if you fucking shield officer, heaven forbid you come across them, it's gonna be bad for you and hopefully bad for them too, right? Like you don't want to expend, like resources are so scarce where you do not want to expend them fighting. 100%, Mr. Grooves, digging through trash. %. Like the mental picture I got from the marketing of this game was insanely different from what the game is, and that's like it doesn't mean this game is bad. It's just that it wasn't marketed very well. 100%. Well, it's like I wouldn't even. God, I wouldn't even want to use the term looter shooter because looter shooter isn't even a good term for it either, right? It's just like a co-op shooter right now.
Under fire from multiple vectors. Seek cover immediately.
Fucking shield officer. All right, we're gonna go get the helicopter to spawn. We're gonna go back to our shantytown. Hopefully the helicopter's still spawned. Sort of kind of, Jim, like, yeah, the road the game would have been the appropriate too, right? Because once again, the road, like, you're gonna come across fights occasionally, but like, they're not commonplace. Survival shooter, maybe, but it's not really heavy on survival elements either, though. It really just right now is a co-op shooter, in my opinion. There's not really any progression or like high risk looting up to be able to call it a looter shooter. There's not really like enough survival elements to be called a survival shooter either. All right, I hear the helicopter. Let's go see if we can get to a safe spot. Well, Patron, like, I'm still supporting the game. I still hope they, like, pull out, like, you know, do a good job with it. But, like, it doesn't mean ignore all the issues with it either, though. And, like, Fundog being very, like, newer kind of full-stack game creators, like, it is important to learn these lessons for the future, right? There are, like, learning through failure is a perfectly valid, you know, thing. Now, granted, when you're a company, you don't really get that many of them because, you know, bankruptcy and shit, but, like, learning through failure is a valid method. Plenty of people mainly learn through that kind of context. All right, is the helicopter still here? I don't think the helicopter's still here, to be honest. I think it despawned. And I feel like there's a big thing too, right? Where, like, because they populate the map so heavily with units, they have to make units tone down in regards to lethality sometimes. But, like, and they have to tone down the awareness. But also, like, they have to force things to despawn too, right? Like, having that chopper suddenly just get Thanos snapped because I moved too far away just feels really wrong. I'm gonna go back to that, like, I'm gonna go back over there now and the chopper's gonna respawn almost assuredly. Oh, 100%, Mr. Grizz. I don't think this game should be like a... I think there's ways you can have survival elements, but not have it be a survival game. I think you can have very simplistic systems that, like, make water really important, but also to the point where it doesn't feel like you're trying to constantly keep your, you know, your water meter full, or you constantly feel like you're trying to fill your thirst meter. Yeah, I'm kind of curious, generic, what they're gonna be doing with the Hybrid IP. Like, Sony's gotta definitely be looking into it, right? Because it is Sony's IP, it's not Arrowhead's. So I'm kind of curious that, like, is Sony going to try and monetize Helldivers more? The IP, not the game, too. I'm not the biggest fan of saying fire people from companies for, like, I never want someone to lose their job just because the internet mob demands it, because sometimes the internet mob can be entirely unfair. And, like, I do agree with the whole sense of, like, Arrowhead did drop the ball, and, like, they did need a come to Jesus moment, right? Of, like, the game you wanted to make is not the game you sold, and now you have to deal with that. Where the hell did that bullet go? Is my gun broken? What the hell?
We have the munitions to remove the threat.
A little bit of reloading. Alright, we're good. Nope.
Under threat.
Ow.
Contact all. Under fire from multiple vectors. Seek cover immediately.
It's gotta be almost dead, right? Why won't you die? A 100%, like Master, like there's definitely been instances where like, yeah. Where like
Threat removal.
there's been definitely negative sentiments between the like the balance of the developers and the community, right? And like, remember, it's always been because I think originally Airhead was trying to make a much more Helldivers 1 type of game, and they accidentally made a power fantasy, right? And so like they're kind of stuck making this game they were never trying to really make. All right, Mr. Helicopter. I'm assuming we got what we needed out of this because I don't really want to stick around and play, you know, with the shield officer at all.
Deleting threats in order of priority.
I mean, Helldivers 1, I mean, it was a masochistic game, right? Like, if they tuned Helldivers 1, or Helldivers 2 like Helldivers 1, right? The vast majority of people would fucking hate it. And that's kind of what they were trying to do, right? I mean, keep in mind though, like Helldivers 1 was a very niche game, right? Like, it never really broke having like a consistent player base of hundreds of players, right? Not hundreds of thousands of players. Well, I guess hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of players like Helldivers 2. I mean, you say that, Master, but it also just never blew up like remotely like Helldivers 2. And you can say a lot of that's from, you know, third person over top down. But I would also make the argument too, it's because Helldivers 1 was very masochistic. Whatever, I'm just run by you.
Awaiting new tasking.
Hey Bells, how's it going? Alright, did we actually get what we needed? I don't think we did, actually. Oh, fuck you, game. I have to go kill another chopper again? I mean, I don't think so. That was kind of... That was the tail end, Master, of co-op shooters. Like, you have... Like, the only thing you can really point to is... Oh, fuck you, game. The only thing you can really point to was Concord. But, like, Concord missed the boat, right? Like, it came out way after that whole genre started to die out. And like Overwatch 2, right? It got fucking flamed to hell and back for trying to basically replace Overwatch 1. Because there was literally no reason for 2 to exist. So like, by the point Helldivers 2 came out, it was at like the the very end, if you could even say that, of the hero shooter. Bells, if you're tight on space and you're looking for like a giant patch to like make it worthwhile, like if 120 gigabytes is a lot to you to the point where you're hesitant to reinstall the game, I would probably just say wait. It's masochistic. It's the people who are very good at Helldivers 1 are going to say it's not as difficult as it is, but if you're unfamiliar with top-down shooters that are kind of hard, it's a very unforgiving game. And like a lot of it was just being like, it was a very niche game that had a very like loyal player base, but like it would never it would have a consistent player base of hundreds of players throughout its life, right? That was Helldivers 1. And when I say hundreds of players, I mean hundreds of players consecutively online at the same time. So like it could have been thousands of players overall, right, as the player base, not just hundreds. So it had a healthy niche player base. Yeah, it very much wants you to play with other, yeah, like, you can play Helldivers 2 solo and be pretty okay. Helldivers 1, you had to have a group. Alright, no helicopter. Time to go across the way. Did I see something fall? No. Yeah, co-op shooters are kind of a dying breed, Master, because co-op shooters are harder to develop for. There is a reason, despite the fact that cheaters are endemic everywhere and ruin the experiences, plenty of companies are still trying to really lean into PvP games, because in the grand scheme of things, it's much easier to motivate players with PvP than it is with any systems you can design. Because the players make the game interesting for you when you have PvP. You can skip... That fucking bug is still existing. You can skip systems design, you can skip, like, loops that keep players engaged, you can skip, like, you don't need to motivate the player to keep playing when you have PvP to be the, like, you know, the main pressure gauge, right? Like, right now, lots of players will ask in this game, like, what's motivating the player to keep playing or pushing you forward? Or keep trying to get you to progress. In PvP games, it's trying to keep up, right, with other players. Like, that natural competitive edge keeps players engaged, right? Like, when a Tarkov wipe happens, players are playing the Tarkov wipe because they want to stay ahead and don't fall behind. That's not all of the players, but that's a decent chunk of them, right? You don't have that luxury in a PvE game like this. Oh my god, there's two of them. I don't feel very safe. What is this fucking weird, like... I got it. It's dead. It's dead. We won. One down. I think I'm gonna try to ignore the other chopper and see if I can just loot this one. I mean, you'd be surprised, Masters. There's plenty of people. Oh my god, thank you. We have two. Thank you, Mr. Tank. You'd be surprised at the amount of people willing to play a fairly mediocre PvP game because it's a PvP game, right? Like, weirdly enough, Marauders, as an example, was like, oh my god, we found it. We were red. Marauders is an example where like the small amount of hardcore PvPers is the only thing that kept or like are playing that game, right? And like Marauders is a bad example because Marauders is a dead game. But like there are lots of people who like will find a niche PvP game and stick to it because they might enjoy it, or it's because like the nicheness of the PvP is nice, right? Because it means that they can stay on top or they can stay high up without having to like constantly keep playing. I don't want to like jump to the Steam charts right now, but like I'm curious how many of like, let's say the top 10, top 25 Steam games are games that have PvP as a core tenet of them. Like, I'm sure Counter-Strike's up there, I'm sure Apex Legends is up there, I'm sure Overwatch is up there. Actually, I'm not even sure if Overwatch is up there, to be honest, considering BlizzardNet. Apex Legends is not in top 25 anymore? That doesn't sound right. Hold on here. Overwatch, I believe. Apex Legends sounds actually weird, though. Hold on. Counter-Strike, PvP, Dota, PvP, Pub Legends, PvP, PUBG, PvP, Banana doesn't count. Banana doesn't count. Rust, PvP, Grand Theft Auto, I wouldn't say that's PvP. Like, there's PvP in Grand Theft Auto, but I wouldn't say it's like leans into it. Marvel Rivals, PvP, Delta Force, PvP. Apex Legends is 9. No, hold on here. By current players, Rainbow Six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of the top 10 games are PvP-oriented games. And, like, I wouldn't even consider Banana. Banana is just, like, a fucking Steam credit, you know, farming thing. Steam charts is wrong. Just go to Steam. So most played right now, I don't think is the same thing as Steam charts. I think most played goes off of... Okay, here we go. Wait, what do you mean? This is most played on Steam right now by current players, by daily players. You can change daily in that. So we have PvP, 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 PvP. So, and I guess EA Sports, and this is technically PvP, but not exactly really. Like, PvP in this game is a pretty big thing, like playing versus players online. But like a large portion of the top games are games that like have PvP as a core tenet. Well, I mean, yeah, they're free to play, right? Because, you know, MTX, that's the current business model. Yeah, BG3 is like kept a player base. Yeah, it's the CRPG of all CRPGs. Oh no, they 100% are, yeah. But like, you notice how people keep playing them, right? Because in the grand scheme of things, despite the cheaters, they still do a good job of like having competitive loops that keep players engaged, right? Because the developers don't have to provide that experience, the players will. So I think this last part, I just need to go back to Elephant and grab some stuff from the Orgamech corpse. I believe that was the thing, is like you can just go play the Orgamechs on Elephant Mausoleum and then you'll find them. Let's bring Attack Cam and a few things. Let's bring Painless. We don't need the 3 to 6 things, that will just attract attention. Elephant. Yeah, he makes sound effects now. Occasionally. I mean, Master, I do agree with you though. Like, that's the reason why I don't usually play PvP games anymore, is because there's not literally any integrity to them. And like, while like the PvP is nice because it does keep the game dynamic, it is kind of just more of the same, right? It's not innovative, right? It's a treadmill. It doesn't mean treadmills are bad. It just means that you can get sick of running on a treadmill occasionally, or eventually. Oh, Dima, yeah, like I said, like, yeah, it's not just one thing in a nutshell, it's just contextually everything together just kind of just gives me, like, warning lights going on. You had nothing for me. There's a few of them up here, I believe. There we go. I believe that was what we need, is the artificial nervous system is all we need. We'll get a few more Orgrimeks just in case. There's a lot of fucking dead Orgrimeks up here. Oh no, and then like you get to the highest level. I mean, like I played very high level competitive Counter-Strike. And like, yeah, the regular matchmaking service for Counter-Strike's always had cheaters. And like you can go to premium services, there's Wetware, and like Faceit or ESCA. I guess ESCA is kind of dead now. I think it's like all Faceit. But like there are still plenty of instances too where like those games have not had integrity for so long, and cheating has gotten easier and more profitable. It just means that like you're always questioning whether, I don't mind if people are better than me. It's hard to justify grinding to keep up with them though, when you're not sure if it's just because they're better or because they have some extra help here and there. Oh, nice, Mr. Goose. I'll take a look at that. Like that, just that utter little amounts of doubt of integrity just kind of arose the desire for me to try and compete and keep up, right? Like, say for example, you're playing tennis, right? And like suddenly the player across the court from you has suddenly like grown, like got massive muscle mass now, and like they're clearly using PEDs, and you're like, is this like, do they actually genuinely earn those muscles to get better at this game, or is it because they really wanted to win and are willing to use whatever means necessary to get there? They go around this way, I guess. And then the highest level of sports too, like that's a big thing in highest level of sports also, right? Like plenty of sports like have doping issues, right? See ya, Blood. I hope your power gets restored soon. Like when you get to those highest levels, some people are willing to do whatever it takes to make sure they win. I'm not sure if any of you like follow hockey, right? But Aaron Ekblad from like the Florida Panthers, right? He had to like sit out quite a few games from PED use. And then like there's, you know, the whole thing with the Olympics, right? Of like, you know, Russia's not in the Olympics because of the war in Ukraine, right? But there's always been issues with Russia just constantly doping in the Olympics. And that's the big thing too, Mr. Grooves, right? Like, it actually, for the few freaks of nature who, like, are actually that, like, gifted, either through their own hard work or talent or just genetics or both, like, it actually diminishes their accomplishments too, right? And like the problem is, too, game shit, it becomes like, when it becomes so prevalent that it becomes the norm, right? It erodes the integrity of that medium because it now becomes the norm to do so, even though it's not explicitly said. Hey, Agent. Man, that's kind of the issue, right? Is like a lot of those online games to the point have like the trust in their systems or the trust in them has been eroded to such a capability where plenty of people think it's okay to cheat because that's the expectation they have for those games, right? Like, for example, Goat's video about the Wiggle and Tarkov, right? Like, would all of those people who cheat in Tarkov if they didn't think Tarkov had a massive cheating problem, think it was okay? Like, surely some degree of that population would be like, hey, I'm going to cheat because I like winning. But some of that population, too, are people in the sense of, well, everyone cheats in this game, let me just go ahead and cheat, too. It doesn't make it okay, but, like, there's plenty of people who probably think like that also. Alright, time to go repair Lordos. Okay, so we finished his next part of his quest. We're now waiting for the next release, I guess. It's not that you need to cheat to compete, but like the trust in the integrity of the systems has been eroded to such a point where plenty of people feel that way. And like when I see a game, right, like I don't mind the competition. I actually really enjoy the competition, but like it just erodes your trust in like, what is this worthy of my time in the grind to get better at this when all it means is I'm gonna fight more and more cheaters, or rather not more and more cheaters, but you're gonna get to the echelons where it's harder to tell who's cheating or not. What unit did I vote for and what capacity? Whatever, you mean the one forever ago? I've been streaming like the last, what, 3 hours now, so if they did a poll in the last 3 hours, I haven't seen it yet. In a way, you could argue it's pay to win, right, with hardware cheats? Alright, let's actually do some downtown. We haven't done downtown in a while. Wait, do I have any water? How much water do I have? I don't think I have a lot of water. This is fine. I've only gotten them once then. 100% master, 100%. It's kind of like the similar thing too, right? Where like once you get into competitive gaming to some extent, like you start looking to see what other competitive gamers are using, and then like you just adopt that, right? So even if it's not cheating, like things like reshade, right? Reshade have always been this very kind of gray area of some games will consider it a cheat, some games won't, and like some games it will give you a massive advantage to see. And so if you want to be competitive, it's considered like part of what you use to be competitive, right? Is use software like reshade. Let's go over to our short gang for a bit. Yeah, I've only seen the Stiltwalker once. I tried for the patch video summoning them for like 2 hours and I gave up and I just was like, all right, I'm done. Yeah, but like the argument comes in then, right? You say it's an exploit, but if it's an exploit, why is it allowed? So it just becomes part of like, you know, the competitive toolkit. And I'm like, reshade's an example, right? But it's like, there's plenty of instances too where it's like reshade and other things. I don't know. I mean, like, well, technically speaking, I haven't seen Coquetta yet. Or Cold, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Mr. Cold Cuts. I haven't seen Cold Cuts yet, but I have seen the Stiltwalker, so the Stiltwalker does seem to be less rare. 100%, and like Hunt's an example of that, right? But there's other games that like might not ban reshade or software, right? Like for example, the Wooden keyboards. That's a great example, right? The Wooden, for the people unfamiliar with the Wooden keyboards, the Wooden keyboards automated some of the counter-strafing process for Counter-Strike, and there was a period of time, right, where the Wooden keyboards were not banned in Counter-Strike, but now they are banned. Essentially, the software used in them is banned. Cold Cuts, Cat War Bust. His name is Mr. Cold Cuts. That's his canon now. Also, where's my more downtown maps or quests? We can do you, why not? Cutlet, Cold Cuts, it's practically the same thing. We need explosives for this. Sure, we can find some. Bumble it is. Like, they have smoothed out the movement. There are still issues in regards to, like, terrain and stuff. But, like, yes, the movement looks much more high quality. But no, yeah, between, like, reshade and the Wooden keyboard stuff, like, there's always gonna be these gray areas, too, of, like, things that will, or that are legal and expected of people who want to be seen as professional to use. Or they want that legal edge. Yeah, Mr. Cold Cuts only appears when you pick up his codex.
Don't miss. Make every shot count.
Go away. Why is this a fucking army convention? Another LA joke, another dollar. Another dollar to the pocket. Let's keep moving. Alright, I think the AOD is actually over here. We'll deal with him later. Want to do communication breakdown first, because I need to find more explosives around the map. I mean, I know where they are now, thankfully, so we're good. They're just all here. They're not around the map, they're just here. God, they're so fucking fast. Alright, let's see if I can get this to work the first time. Oh my god, it worked the first time. Music, amazing. Alright, there's usually explosives up top. Obey the laws of physics, please. Yeah, they're probably gonna be up top. Alright, explosives, plenty of water. There's one. That'll do. So I'll have to look for one more somewhere. We need one more explosive. Now, is there any around here? I don't think so. I think it's all just water up here. Crates. Don't need crates. I need explosives. Maybe down here? Yeah, there's usually more when I just saw them, right? Like, usually the place I guys got explosives from are usually like, there's already like one or two, there's like 2 or 3 there. It depends on the context, Michael, probably. Like, are you looking for the spot to place it, or are you looking for, like, are you trying to, like, you know, arm it quickly, or are you... Depends. Alright, let's go to the police station rooftop. Maybe there's explosives up there.
I think they spotted us.
I did pick up a drill, actually. That's a good call. I didn't have one at first, but I did pick one up. Fuck off. Just like, just kill people, day ship, and pick them up, basically. Most soldiers will drop some type of cigarettes. There we go, and yeah, 2 in there, perfect. I mean, like, if you're trying to arm explosives and you're familiar with the explosives, I wouldn't really make it a check just to arm them, right? But if you're trying to find the best place to place them, it'd be like intelligence. If you're trying to, like, do something clever with it, or you're trying to, like, you know, hide. If you're trying to, like, for example, hide the explosives, it might be sleight of hand, right? How well do you place it inside of, like, a hiding spot? Yeah, it's just context dependent. It's really for the player to make the argument to me and what they're trying to do and trying to roll, and I'll say what the role is. Not always going to be like the same thing. It depends on the context of how they're trying to do it. All right, down you go. Well, I was gonna do that crate, but never mind. I need to find the EOD. I think the officer was over here last time. At least that's where I killed him last time. Alright. They're upset with me, so HKs. Yeah, I think the UD officer was over here last time. Yep, there they go. That looks like a dead end bay. Let's go around. Second time.
Everyone for themselves.
Alright, let's get out of here. I mean, the question I would be asking, though, to be honest, should the players have those types of weapons, though? Remember, anti-shooter, allegedly. Allegedly. Yeah, Cat Warboss, not this guy, by the way. Also anti-shooter.
Everyone for themselves.
I mean, also, like, how the fuck am I supposed to get through these maps without shooting, though? When it's like every fucking corner is like 100 soldiers around it. Anyway. I mean, just because they did something wrong, Parrot, doesn't mean they should double down and keep doing more wrong things.
Came early. Now to open those presents.
By the way, I know they're expensive, but holy fuck, standing desks are so nice. The electric ones that you can just raise, oh god, love them. I say that as I ascend. It's time for Babel. I think it's time for Babel. The bell. Two quests is fine. Let's go over to Stealthy Scav. Oh, Stealthy-esque Scav Girl. RPK probably, I think, or AK, either or. Oh yeah, that's because I don't prestige up, and it's just it bugs out when you don't prestige up and you have like extra experience. 300 rounds is fine. Bring a few big boy meds. I actually do think this is probably a mistake. It's probably much easier to bring a real backpack in and just jump around.
Time to carve him up.
Ah, good old drone hell.
Enough of that sneaking around shit.
So memento and then tissue samples. We don't really need any of you. Alright, we got all that. Let's go see if we can find some tissue samples. I think the quest might be bugged. I can't recall. There's a few quests that are kind of wonky.
Brush 'em to dust.
There's some SIGs we don't need. Lots of SIGs we don't need.
Not enough ammo. Whoa.
Eruskin pilots drop them. Okay. So, like, over here, I'm guessing? Nothing there for me.
I've been waiting for this.
I don't feel very safe in here. Doop. That's not it. Jerry can that I can't pick up. Hey, Brand, how's it going? More cyborg stuff.
Not enough ammo. Whoa.
I don't exactly feel insanely safe here. Yep. If you guys could like kill each other and not respawn, that'd be fantastic.
I've been waiting for this.
You're not aggroed. You're not allowed to do that. Alright. Peace and quiet, finally. We did it. I said peace and quiet finally. There we go, tissue sample. I said peace and quiet. Yep, it's got an execute. It's very slow and very telegraphed, but it does have an execute. It plays a little sound effect before it's about to do it. Oh, it's good. It's more of the same. It's like kind of like the movement's a lot better now. Like they made movement like very polished. New map downtown LA, which is fine. Performance upgrades, so like people are getting better performance now again. Other things like that too. Kind of just overall more of the same, really. A little bit more content, more fixes, more polishing. There, we found a memento.
Just what I need. I've been
Give me your tissue. Thank you. Yeah, they've done some work on that, but I think it's still not perfect yet. I know with like multiplayer peer-to-peer, it can be really rough. Yeah, I've heard that too. Are you? What do you know? What area? Are you getting like a U object error, or are you getting a different error?
to dust.
I'm kind of curious what error you're getting. So the quest crash. So essentially, like there was a hard crash that if you kept resetting quests, you would get a crash, and that was from U objects. Essentially, the game wouldn't clean up old objects properly. I got into the occasional crash. I can't remember if it's from U objects or not. Up we go.
Bad luck today.
I don't know. I don't usually use it enough to try. It might still be in the game. I really just don't. I've never really like learned the pattern of doing it, so. Oh no, HKs on this map, really? I mean, it's peer-to-peer, right? It's like, that's always been the downside of peer-to-peer. Has there really ever been a perfect multiplayer peer-to-peer game that hasn't been kind of janky? Give me your tissue.
Bad luck today.
I can probably jump a few of these. I don't need you. I can drop rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you. I would rather have the big first aid kits. Hey Jacob, how's it going? I think we're good to leave. I was kind of hoping to find the rest of the tissue samples, but I'll take living. It's a little busy over there. Yeah, as in sample is correct, yes. Oh well, we got 3 done. All right. Do I run it back to get this one done? Eh. How much water does it cost today? 3 water? Nah. How am I on water right now? Do I need to do a water run or 2? Eh, it's not bad. It's not great either. Let's go over and do the rack, man. $762, we'll bring 400. We don't need a lot of this though, to be honest. That's probably fine. Bring a few meds, and we don't need a lot of meds here either. And the main thing we're looking for is the water quests, so let's go ahead and get those. Until part 3 works. This kind of doesn't give us water. We're mainly looking for the water quest from these guys. Lost cash also will work. And now we're just looking for the water quest. Which is off of Western Embassy. And hopefully we don't crash here. So this is like, for example, the way you would crash the game in the previous patch. There we go. If you did a lot of quest resets, it would crash the game. I mean, MKNG though, like... the reason why, like, there was a design choice for them not to have a game developed off dedicated servers, right? A lot of it was like because a key selling point of the game was a PvE offline extraction shooter, right? That couldn't just be offline from them like going defunct, right? And so having peer-to-peer be the way of doing that means that it would never be on them to pay for servers to provide a service for, right? They could have developed the game around like players hosting their own dedicated servers, but that's getting kind of wildly out of scope, I think, for their project. Yeah, Mario, the game is designed to be played fully offline. Like, there is co-op in the game, but like, I would say the experience is more designed for a PvE offline sort of nature. Alright, let's go get our water. I am the Alpha and the Omega. Worship me. I am the T-pose god. Alright, we can go back. Yeah, for some reason this patch, there's like a lot more, there is like infinitely more T-posing in this game than before. Like, the mechs, when they die, T-pose now. Fuck you, Stagger. Did I win? You, MKNG, yeah, 100%. You could go for the dedicated server approach, right? But like, do you really want to set the precedent of like they would need to host plenty of their own servers, right? Which costs them money and costs them time and resources, right? They need to have like those dedicated servers set up for like people who don't want to buy their own, and then they need to. Yeah, it's a lot, right? They could go that route, but it has entirely different design implications, right? And time implications too, right? Would you rather design a game where it doesn't require you to be present or like have a server and for players to be able to play it? And like, think of it this way too, right? Like if they make it in such a way where like they're expecting you to have a dedicated server to run the AI, so it's easier on the performance of the players, right? Like you get into this loop where you're like, do I balance around having the AI run off a dedicated server, or do I balance it off of someone just running it locally off their machine, right? Not exactly Roofer. I'm guessing it has to do with Theaters of War. It's probably just like a small percentage chance. I mean, I have a data cache. We're talking about game. There we go. I mean, it's kind of the issue with SPT Tarkov, right? Like, if you're running SPT Tarkov off your machine, you have to kind of neuter the game a bit. It depends on your rig too, right? Like, but like when you run SPT Tarkov on your machine, you generally have to make like considerations or like concessions to make it run more performative on your machine, because like you're having to run the AI for the NPCs on your machine too. And like you can set up your own server too on SPT or Tarkov if you want to offload the AI, but that's adding complexity, right, in a separate machine. And they even talked about this about Q&As too, right? How like in Q&As, like one of the big things for performance they measure, right, is like having 4 different players across in different segments of the map, right? And still having it be performative. All right, so let's see how much water we got now. It's usually like my water run. We gained like 14, I think. We're back to like passable amounts of water for doing things. Oh no, like, yeah, it's really easy to like question why, like Helldivers 2, right? They were in development for a very long period of time. And like at launch, you can kind of question like, what the hell took them so long to make this game? But like laying the foundation work for a game is a slow and tedious process, because like if it's not something you can generally rush. And like that's the big thing with like Ashes of Creation, right, Maru? Like Ashes of Creation, an MMO coming out, like they've done lots of work on the server side of making, like, they have a grand design, right? Like they want to have these large multiplayer battles that are performative, right? And so they've been at the drawing board for a long period of time, coming up with systems and solutions and implementing those solutions that might actually fix that issue, right? Of having lots of players in a small area. And it's taken them like years to develop that product, right? To develop that solution. In the grand scheme of things, I know a year sounds like a long period of time, but when you're designing software and solutions, a year is not that long. Let's do some Frozen Swamp. I haven't done Frozen Swamp in a while. Scav scrap. I think most projects I've worked on have been like 3 to 4 year projects at this point. Granted, they're big projects, don't get me wrong. Like, they were not small projects by any means, but like the projects I've worked on have been like 2, 3, 4 year long projects at the least. And sometimes they'll get delayed too. Like maybe it might be a 3 year project, but gets delayed because, you know, it's just shit happens. All right, time to kill some water thieves. See ya, Delta. I'm kind of hoping, Sarah, if they just go back and start like fleshing out the older maps.
Every run tells a slightly different story.
Oh no, like Mara, there's a reason why, like, when you have networking or server people, right? Like, that's their dedicated role, right?
Hold fast.
Like, I did networking in college. Networking is fucking complicated, right? Like, it can consume an entire career. So my official title was application developer and support engineer. So AKA basic, like my actual title for my job was like basic bitch corpo shit, essentially. But what I would do in my job is like all things, wear multiple hats. I would do some project management, some development, some documentation. Like I did essentially everything in regards to my application. I mainly worked with SAP software. That was a big thing too, is I would work with databases a lot too. Like I wasn't a database engineer by any means. I wasn't doing like the actual database engineering stuff, but like I would spend a lot of my time just SQL querying the database, mainly for ad hoc reporting purposes and stuff like that too. Or for example, setting up like automated suites. Former water thieves. Yeah, Sarah, if I'm not... They spent a long period of time working on weapons in the beginning of the year And I don't want to say they didn't have a lot to show for it, but I kind of want to say they didn't have a lot to show for it. So I'm not sure if they're gonna really delve deep into the sauce again. That's pessimist me, by the way. Hopefully they will. Like, I actually would love to see a full gunplay rework, but I also accept that's like a fantasy. Like, there's like a very small chance, if any chance, of that ever happening. All right, heading over to the Titans now to get our schematics. I think the only thing that truly scares me is just endless documentation. Like, don't get me wrong, I value, like, the purpose documentation performs, but, like, it's really, like, a Sisyphean task, right? I mean, I left my job, so no. I'm getting my master's right now, hence the move. I enjoyed my job, but like, there was no prospects, it was dead end. So I'm getting my master's. Like, I could have stayed at that job for like my entire career and like had no upward like verticality. And that could have been okay, but like, it felt like it was too early to resign myself to dead-end job.exe.
A couple.
All right. I would like my schematics, please. I could definitely agent tell you that I didn't want that job for the 50 years in that capacity, because that, like, it was literally just me getting more hats to wear like every couple months. The hats were not stopping and the pay was not increasing. So I'm like, hey, you keep giving me more stuff, like more responsibilities, which is like great and all, but like, hey, we're having to work more and more hours to do this job, but I'm getting the same pay. What's up with this? Hey, can we talk about this? I was like, no. I was like, all right, well, deuces. I'm gonna go get my master's. All right, there could be a schematic spawn up here. Nope. All right. Where be the schematics? I mean, useful is one thing, Maro, but like, I guess the other thing is, right, it's like, it was definitely beginning like the decline of tech, right? Or like the mass firings of tech people. So like, they probably felt like they had a lot of leverage. Which, I mean, they do, but like, I'm also... I'll tell you right now, I am absolutely fantastic at doing something off of feeling and not because it's exactly logical, right? Like, knowing that where the tech market was going, right, it would have been probably wise to keep my job, but me, like, self-respect me was more like, fuck that. I have lots of self-respect, and I'm not usually willing to shovel shit for very, very long periods of time with no respect. you could say it's borderline pride, which I can't argue against, but I would say it's just more self-respect. Where be my last schematics? I really should have brought attack cam for this. Okay, it's not, it's like, so it's not here. It's not here. Is it on any of these? No, so it's gotta be up top. Yeah, it was a very corpo job, 100%. It was peak corpo. And for what I was doing originally, the pay was good, but like, as time progressed, the pay got worse and worse as inflation happened, but also just extra responsibilities without a title or without a raise. Okay, there it is. God, these things are so freaking flat that they're so hard to see. I mean, I wouldn't say AI is taking over everything, Maru, but it's causing a, like, just like the dot-com bubble of 2000s, like, there's going to be this adjustment period, right? And there's going to be this period of, like, a lot of these companies taking advantage of AI and leading into it heavily, and then it's going to blow up, and then it's going to kind of do this reset, right? Where, like, the overall atmosphere of tech will change, but, like, it's just like the dot-com bubble, right? Changed everything. There is a vast misunderstanding of AI currently and how useful it is. Like, don't get me wrong, I am in the camp that I do think AI is an insanely useful tool, but people think it's intelligent. It's not intelligent. It does not think. It's not going to do your job for you. It is a useful tool, and that is it. But like all tools, it can be misused. Like my sister is, I won't get into too much detail, but my sister is works as a librarian for a university, right? And she's doing a few different papers and research topics on AI right now, right? And her being a layman, right, is I'm having to explain to her how like AIs work, right? And she's having to talk to people about how AI work and like how AI is going to like shape and change things, right? And like one big misunderstanding for a lot of more casual people, more laymen's, is they don't understand like the actual fundamentals of how AI works. All it is doing is reacting to the prompt you give it with machine learning to put out an output. There is no thought going in. Now, the people who developed it are insanely smart and do a very good job with their big data to make it seem intelligent, but it's not actually intelligent. It's not Skynet. It's just a really good chatbot that's been trained off large segments of data. And that is a useful tool to have, don't get me wrong, but it's not a flawless tool. It's not going to do everything for everyone. It's going to replace some people, but really it's more going to augment people's workflows and make them more efficient. Just like how the dot-com era made people more efficient, the AI era will make people more efficient again. And yes, that will come with the loss of jobs, but the suits right now think it means that they can replace all the developers, right? They can replace all of their juniors. But that's not how this works. They're trying to use AI as a way of saving lots of money and making them, you know, juicing revenues for their stock prices. But it's a short-sighted solution that will eventually, like the dot-com bubble, blow up in their face. Now, who can say when that's going to happen? It might be 10 years, it might be this year, it might be next year, it might be 10 years from now, but it's going to happen. If I could predict when it would happen, right, I would be a millionaire. And a lot of other people, like, everyone can see the housing market bubble, everyone can see the AI bubble, right? No one can know when it's actually going to blow up, right? Because at this point, the stock market is this weird thing that no one wants to fail, but it kind of, everyone feels like it needs to. They get emotionless compliance for sure. I mean, even if you taught your like the AI to do your job appropriately, right? Well, like eventually it's gonna get some weird scenario where it's not gonna do something right. Yeah, Thorin, that's exactly it, right? Like, the invention of a new tool makes some jobs obsolete and then creates new ones. And that's just like every single like tech switch we had, like that's the current era we're going through, that pain of like people getting phased out and having to adapt their careers. And then some people just like thinking this new tool is going to like invalidate having any workers at all. All right, is it time for our court-mandated stairway run of the day? Sure. I am old man. I would like to be old man. Apparently they made pistols faster to pull out now. Let's try out a pistol. I have not tried out pistols yet this patch, and apparently they're faster now to pull out, so. Let's see how much faster. Oh, so Dyer, you're just like you're like in the basement with a bunch of guns waiting for the AI to take over so you can have your revolution. No more thinking machines allowed. I mean, that does feel pretty fast, I will say. Like, that is fast, I will not lie. Now, like, usually the biggest thing I will say, though, is, like, when you want your backup to be, like, a crowd control weapon, right? I'm not sure if any... Also, we're supposed to be a shotgun? Oh, well. Guess we're pistoling it. Like, the reason why I think the shotguns are really good backup weapons, right, is they cause a large amount of crowd control, which is very useful when you want to switch to your offhand, right? Like for cyborgs and shit, right? You want that crowd control. So I'm not like... It's nice you can pull it out quickly, but like if it's gonna be still just like 9mm, anemic 9mm, how useful is that still? H5000 100%, like that's definitely a thing right now where like people want AI to do the repetitive tasks, not the creative tasks. But like the reason why the businesses like the creative... Here's the thing, right? When you ask an AI to do something that's logical and literal and cannot have errors, it can't fuck up. When you ask an AI to do something creative, you can just justify its fuck-ups as part of its creative process. Like, say for example, you ask this AI to make a picture of someone, right? And they give them, you know, let's say blue hair. You know, that could just be a creative choice from the AI, and that's okay. But like, if you logically told it to make it a blonde-haired individual, right? Like, that's an actual logical issue with it. But because, like, and that's why, for example, it's much easier to give the AI creative tasks, right? Because much of the time, you can't really say it's wrong, just it's creatively different. While if it gives you a solution to a problem that's actually fucking wrong, well... Let's just say, Jacob, I'm generally nice to everyone. I have said very mean things to Alexa. And I have no shame. Because fuck Amazon. Isn't it nice to see how mean we get when we can dehumanize things? Isn't that great?
All kinds of bad.
No. No, no. Stop it. Also, this cursed red dot. Listen, I had it coming, okay?
More to carry back. Way too hot here. Whoa.
The good old Glock. It's a helicopter. I mean, this damn staircase.
Look for gaps. Maybe we can slip past. Taking fire.
Oh god, an exo. Please don't chain stagger me. Please don't. Alright, we need a laptop and then kill the VIP up here. Yeah, there's the VIP. Now he's in a laptop. Oh, another fucking media mech, okay. Where be my laptop? I mean, it actually is the best 9mm SMG in the game. And it's not even close. Hey, is the laptop right there? God damn it. I just missed it. Yeah, the exo movement's not been great ever. Like, it's rough seeing the, like, exo lifecycle video and then just seeing the exo in game, you're like, okay, well, alright. Someone got neutered. Hey, Shaq. Game's good. I mean, it's got a vibe to it. It's still heavily work in progress, but it's got a good vibe to it. Especially if you like Grimdark. Yeah, one day is a good way of putting it. It's got a vibe a lot of people like, and a lot of people are like willing to look past its early access nature for, which is perfectly fair. Alright, how do we end water-wise? Beautiful. We were at like 13 at one point. Alright, that's it for today, everyone. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys again Wednesday. I might do a stream tomorrow. It won't be this game, but it'll be a different game. It'll be Returnal, probably my favorite game ever. Other than that, I will see you guys later. New video in the works. It won't be a Forever Winter video, though, so we'll see how that does. Other than that, I will see you guys later. Bye all.